Celebrate the best of the best on the BC film and television scene and toast the Leo's 10th anniversary today on The Express. Coming up, famous faces at the Leo Gala Awards show. Isn't she gorgeous? This is also Vancouver's largest red carpet event, and that's just one side of the scene that we're going to show you. On today's Leo Awards special,
this motion appears to be out of order.
The 2008 winner for Best Feature-Length Drama, Elijah.
Who's Sylvie?
Give me my mail!
No hitting. No hitting.
Award-winning director Carl Basai on Normal.
Filmmaker Michael Parfit followed Luna's story.
The true story of a killer whale named Luna.
I mean, getting a big attaboy from everybody that you worked with for years.
And Warren Carr on winning a Lifetime Achievement Award. That and so much more.
So let's hear it for the Leos! Woo-hoo!
Lights, camera, action, or in this case, lights, camera, fashion. Welcome to our Express Red Carpet Leos special. I'm Johanna Ward, and today we're celebrating the best of the best in the BC film and television industry. But we're also celebrating something extra special, the 10th anniversary of the Leo Awards. And to start things off, we're going to look at a film that's been nominated for 11 Leos, including Best Direction. Aaron Shaw is talking with the director of Normal.
In Normal, we follow three unrelated characters as they deal with the drunk driving death of a young man in Vancouver. Burnaby native Carrie-Anne Moss plays the boy's grieving mother. Director Carl Basai asked her and the other actors to do a more pared-down style of acting.
I look at films a lot and I go, well, these seem like actors, you know, they seem like beautiful, kind of polished, just a little too pretty, a little too beautifully lit, a little too well put together actors, and then I have trouble believing in them. I'm more interested in films that bring the viewer closer to how we really live and taking the acting out of the actor.
Can't read that. Who's this from? Who's Sylvie?
Give me my mail!
No hitting. No hitting.
The fragmented storyline allowed for some freedom in filmmaking as well. Basai shot and lit characters differently, giving each part of the story a distinct feel.
There's a kind of weight to the world of Carrie-Anne's character. I mean, she's a grieving mother who's lost her son. You know, it's a very silent, very kind of spare world that she wanders through. And then there's another guy who's a bit autistic, and he has a very bizarre kind of world, and his world is jumpier and a little funnier and a little stranger. And then there's the kid played by Kevin Zegers. His world is a little more polished and beautiful, but it's also, you know, it's got its tragic side, but there's something a bit more there's a little more life in the room.
Attaching a big name to the film was crucial to getting funding, and Basai is happy that a homegrown movie star fit the bill.
It was wonderful to be able to get kind of movie stars in a movie, but also have them be Canadian, and to work really with a kind of a visibly Canadian setting and tell this story and kind of not hide where it's from. We need to tell universal stories, but we don't need to pretend that they're not from here.
I'm Aaron Shaw in Vancouver for The Express.
Raven West Films and Carl are currently in pre-production with other local filmmakers getting ready to tell more Vancouver stories. And the story today on The Express, it's a big one. It's all about the Leos. Later, the who's who on the red carpet and the who's wearing who.
This dress is from a local designer called Rick Ewan.
Plus, meet the man behind the music. Leo's composer George Blondheim reflects on 10 years.
These guys are the very, very best. Not many people can come in and do this in this kind of pressure and sound this good.
We'll also look at the documentary Saving Luna and the short film Hirsute. Right now, Aaron Shaw is looking at a film about a man who some say changed the face of Canada and Native issues in Canada forever, Elijah.
No.
With one word, Elijah Harper changed the course of Canadian history. In the film Elijah, audiences learn about the making of a hero as Elijah Harper opposed the Meech Lake Accord and stopped it from being passed. Bill plays Elijah.
By all rights, very different from the normal hero type of character. Very shy. The then Prime Minister Brian Mulroney wanted to officially recognize the English society and the French society as the two founding nations of Canada. Elijah Harper, who happened to be the only Aboriginal MLA at the time in the legislature of Winnipeg, Manitoba, he said no and became a hero instantly.
Both Bill and Elijah grew up in northern Manitoba but met for the first time on a plane in 1990.
I called him up right away when I first got the role, which was an emotional experience because I so wanted to portray my hero.
How will you feel if Quebec separates and all of the country falls apart because of you?
Bad.
Do you really know what you're doing?
Blake Corbett produced and wrote the script for Elijah.
I thought it was wonderfully ironic that a First Nations politician would show up at the last minute and scuttle what had appeared to be a done deal. There's this little Indian man on the 6 o'clock news going, no. And everybody said, can he say that? What does he mean? No. What is this?
By not giving his support to the accord, it was virtually impossible to ratify the agreement in Manitoba.
The whole country rallied behind this man because he was the guy who had finally said no to Brian Mulroney.
Speaker, this motion appears to be out of order.
The Meech Lake Accord was defeated on June 22, 1990, but the film takes a look at Elijah Harper's whole life, from his early years in northern Manitoba to his personal troubles with his marriage and with alcohol.
What do you want?
Same thing you do. To help Indians.
He was seeing the world from a very different way, and it was a really kind of a Gulliver's Travels type of thing.
The film is currently being dubbed into Cree. I'm Erin Shaw in Vancouver for The Express.
And it is with that understanding that I ask that the motion to put the Meech Lake Accord before this House be struck from today's order paper.
Elijah is nominated for 8 Leos. There'll be a total of 76 awards presented, including 1 for Outstanding Achievement. And I guess you can also add in the award for Best Dressed on the Red Carpet.
What are we talking to? It's this right here.
Coming up, feature films and fabulous fashions.
I like the back, that's my favorite part.
Plus a short film about time travel and excessive body hair. That one gets my attention every time. I think it's the body hair. Thank you, that's very nice. At the Leos, it's about the photographers, right? It's about getting dressed up. It's about the films, of course, and it's also about the entertainment. This year, George Blondheim is celebrating 10 years as musical director for the Leos. And reporter Bianca Solterbeck caught up with him to find out how the band deals with those long acceptance speeches.
2, 3.
You are getting a behind-the-scenes look at the musicians who are practicing for this year's Leo Awards, led by musical director George Blondheim.
These guys are the very, very best. Not many people can come in and do this in this kind of pressure and sound this good.
The pressure really is on when you consider the musicians have only about an hour to go over all the songs together before tonight's show.
Just this rehearsal, basically. The charts, George does a great job on the charts. We just walk in, read them, make sure they all work.
But it's obvious these guys are pros when you hear them switch effortlessly between the Rolling Stones, Toto, and Guns N' Roses.
And so I've taken music from 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, really big hits from MacArthur Park to Walk Like an Egyptian. Plus we'll do some jazz stuff in the middle of it too, so that everyone's hearing a familiar song every 2.5, 3 minutes.
It's been great. It's my second year with George and the gang. It's a lot of fun.
We have lots of time for me to set tempo and give you a 3 and 4 and something.
Blondheim has been with the Leos since they first started in 1999.
And being as I've been lucky enough to do it, asked to do it for 10 years, I try to have something different every year. We prepare between 35 and 45 short pieces of music that we can play long or short because we don't know really what's going to happen.
This is guitarist Robert Steininger's debut at the Leos.
I'm really excited to get a handle on what's going on and meet some of the people involved, and especially to work with George. He's a great organizer, and he's a great arranger, and he's a great musician.
It's great because we don't get to play together in this unit, and this event brings us together in this situation, so it's fun.
Just a few hours after their short rehearsal, the band looks and sounds like this.
The music is designed to do several things: to introduce people, to punctuate award winners, to play them on and play them off the stage, and keep it interesting and exciting.
But aside from entertaining the crowd here tonight, the band has one last important job to do.
Like any award show you've seen on television, like the Academy Awards, if people start talking too much, we're supposed to, play in the background and urge them to move on because the shows can be too long.
Yeah, I kind of think that might happen, although I don't know, but in other award shows that I've done, that's definitely the case.
I'm Bianca Salterbeck at the Leo Awards in Vancouver for The Express.
George Blondheim has done it all. He's composed music for symphony performances, the 1984 Olympics, and The Tonight Show. And today on The Express, I feel like I'm getting to do it all. I have the dress, I have the diamonds. It's our Express Red Carpet Leo's Special. After the break, Gabrielle Miller, Ryan Robbins, Sonia Bennett, plus the documentary Saving Luna.
A great many people really loved Luna and wanted what was best for him.
Why would you do that?
And the short film that's inspiring a long list of questions.
Wardrobe for Johanna Ward provided by Plum. Complete your look at plum.ca or visit one of our locations in Greater Vancouver.
This spring, let the Bay transform your garden with globally inspired fashion, furnishings, and accessories. World Party, on now at the Bay.
I had my first really bad crash, but luckily none of the people I skidded into were badly hurt. I broke my collarbone and some ribs. That was really bad. It's paid off though, no question. I've gone from 19th in BC to 7th as of last weekend. As long as I keep the rubber side down, there's no reason why I couldn't make the nationals.
Hair services for the Express provided by the Lounge Hair Studio. The Lounge, helping you reach your full image potential.
It's about the strength, the talent, and the diversity of the BC film and television industry, and it's a great excuse to get all dressed up. Welcome back to our Express Leo special. I'm Johanna Ward, and coming up, we're going to talk to the man who's being honored today with an Outstanding Achievement Award. But first, we're going to have a look at a documentary about one of BC's iconic animals, Luna.
Saving Luna is a documentary about BC's most famous orca whale. Separated from his pod in Nootka Sound, Luna turned to humans and boats for companionship and fun. Filmmaker Michael Parfitt followed Luna's story.
The First Nations did not want Luna to be moved, and they came out in canoes and started to oppose it.
And the First Nations won. Luna was allowed to stay in Nootka Sound, but his friendly antics were seen as a nuisance by some.
All of a sudden, he started to go up to boats that didn't want him around. He started to be very sort of urgent in asking for attention, and some people didn't like that. And suddenly there were threats to Luna, and people were talking about killing him, and nobody knew what to do.
Filmmakers generally don't get involved in their stories, but with Luna, Michael just couldn't remain impartial.
We believed that there should have been an active campaign to give him what he was asking for, as opposed to trying this thing that didn't work. We became partisans in a story that we were covering.
Luna had that effect on a lot of people in the Nootka Sound area, and that's explored in the film.
This relationship that people had with Luna and Luna had with people was really the most dramatic part of the story.
Sadly, as most people know, Luna was killed after playing too close to a tugboat.
It happened while we were gone, and it just broke our hearts. A great many people really loved Luna and wanted what was best for him, and they disagreed strongly on what to do.
When he pops up and he looks at you in a sort of
So while Saving Luna is by no means a social action movie, it does make people think.
He just had a way of getting inside of me, inside of my head, and into my heart.
If anything, it's something to make people reflect themselves on what would they do in this situation.
I'm Erin Shaw in Vancouver for The Express.
Saving Luna was part of the Cannes Film Festival, and it is also a Leo nominee. You know, there were 750 eligible submissions, which were then translated into 76 awards, being presented the 2008 Leos. The 10th anniversary, by the way. Do you know, of all the people that have been nominated for Leos, you are one of the people that's been nominated more than anybody else?
I didn't know that. Yeah. That's pretty fancy.
How do you feel about that?
I feel shocked, really. Yeah.
So you've been coming to the Leos. I think you told me last year you were here the very first year the Leos started. 10 years, what do you think of the anniversary?
I think it's fantastic, and things have, grown incredibly, and you look around and everybody looks so beautiful, and they've done a great job. It's amazing to have something, have a life for 10 years, and to be growing that entire time is pretty impressive.
And I'd just like to point out how beautiful you look.
Oh, thank you. So do you. Isn't she gorgeous?
Isn't she gorgeous? It's about the films and the television. It's also about the fashion. So tell me about your gorgeous dress.
This dress is from a local designer called Rick Ewan.
Oh, I love the bag.
Yeah.
And how fun is it really to be on the biggest red carpet in Vancouver?
It's pretty fun. I feel a little bit tonight like I'm like the Cameron Diaz of the Oscars. Like I'm not nominated or anything, but I'm just sort of really around.
Best dressed at the Leos. Dawn, how difficult is this to judge?
Oh, it's really difficult. I mean, you get a lot of people that are normally dressed down in this city, and so this is the opportunity for people to finally dress up, and the criteria very, very strict.
How strict really is it?
Oh, we've got a lot of different categories that we're judging everybody on, so.
And how am I doing so far?
You're doing very well. Very, very well.
You look gorgeous.
So do you.
Oh.
Hey, welcome to the 10th annual Leos. Let's hear it for the Leos. Woohoo!
And the Leo goes to...
And the Leo goes to...
And the Leo award goes to...
And the Leo goes to...
Ryan Robbins. How does it feel to be the most nominated actor then?
It's very humbling. I'm really flattered. I was pretty surprised.
And of all the different projects you've worked on that you're nominated for tonight, what would be your favorite?
All of them.
Good answer.
No, I've been having a really wonderful time on the Guard. J-Pod killed me, so it was my favorite until I died. But I've been having a really great time on the Guard. You know, I'm just happy to be here, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Ryan Robbins, J-Pod, Sprite Quest.
Are you kidding me?
Congratulations, Warren Carr. I'm sure you're hearing that a lot today.
You know, I'm so completely thrilled about this award. I mean, getting a big attaboy from everybody that you've worked with for years has just absolutely, I mean, come up over the top, because you don't really expect these kinds of things to happen. And when the call came, it was shocking.
If you look back at your career, is there one thing that stands out that you really say, you know, that was the moment?
That moment when I leapt from the comfort of a regular job to going out with a bunch of people who do this project by project, and it was sort of pulled into that whole group, and you got a sense of vitality, like, man, you're alive or you're not.
Congratulations to all of the nominees and all of the winners, and especially a big congratulations to the Leos on 10 great years. Now, there is a locally made short film called Hairsuit, nominated for 7 Leos this year, and as Aaron Shaw tells us, it's about time travel and excessive body hair.
Writer, director, actor A.J. Bond is a self-confessed time travel nerd whose short film Hairsuit, about a young time traveler, has been making its way through the Canadian festival circuit, showing at Vancouver and Toronto.
Have I always been this pretentious? Clever. I like how you say I, but you're actually insulting me. We're the same person.
This one came about because, well, I turned gay a couple years ago, and it occurred to me that if my gay self met my straight self, they wouldn't get along at all, and it would be really awkward. And so I thought, that kind of was the idea. Like, what if you met yourself in the past and, you know, you'd changed to such a degree that you didn't even relate to yourself anymore, and in fact, you hated yourself?
AJ's coming out inspired him to explore the broader ideas of change in the film.
I knew it. It works. I invented time travel.
I wanted him to have changed not just, you know, in his personality, but also physically in a way. And I thought, you know, what are some interesting changes that one might go through turning gay or just in general? And waxing my body hair was something that had always actually secretly intrigued me.
AJ waxed his entire body for the film and transformed his apartment, where the film was shot, into an ultra-modern white set, contributing to the film's slick look right down to the stylish time machine.
And just turn. This way takes you into the future. This way takes you into the past.
I wanted to come up with the iPod of time machines. I wanted it to be really simple and kind of an iconic shape, and something that was just like really kind of cool and simple.
Why would you do that? What? Don't tell me you haven't thought about it. So I have arm hair. That's perfectly normal.
I just thought, you know, what's a more simple shape than the egg? Basically the idea of an egg timer, and turn that into a time machine.
And if the idea of time travel sends your mind spinning, well, you're normal.
I know that a lot of people will watch it and just find it confusing, and I think that's fine. You know, a time travel movie should be somewhat confusing.
In Vancouver, I'm Aaron Shaw for The Express.
Can I try it?
I'm going to take a closer look at my egg timer when I get home. Now that's it for today's Express Red Carpet Leos special, celebrating the best of the best in the BC film and television industry. We want to say a big congratulations once again to all the nominees, all the winners, and to the Leo Awards for 10 years. It's their 10th anniversary. Imagine that. You can get a complete list of nominees and winners at the leoawards.com website. I'm Johanna Ward, and on behalf of Aaron Shaw, Bianca Solterbeck, and the rest of the Express team, thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you next time. Oh yeah, and thanks again to Chloe Angus for the gorgeous dress and Burks for the sparkling diamonds.
This spring, let the Bay transform your garden with globally inspired fashion, furnishings, and accessories. World Party, on now at the Bay.